All right, welcome back, everybody. And we got the founder of our whole Discord site, to be perfectly honest with you. It's Joshua out of the American division. He's transformed this league into a very much more commutative. I can't even speak English, but you know what I meant. Ladies, he changed his name. Can he recover from last year? And what I mean by that, I think we all thought Joshua was going to win it. He had the best team. I didn't have the best team. And then he ran into Subotica Spartans in the first. And like he was saying all year, or maybe it was even Brandon, these two kept saying, I keep playing people when they're having their best weeks ever, right? So
yeah. I actually looked at it when I was doing this, and I think he won. He had the best record, but the most points for every other week except the playoffs week 1, and obviously we saw what happens. He finished 5th. Spoiler, I guess. Looking at, he went 9-4. Yeah, he's 34-32. Which I was actually surprised. I thought he would have a better record, but then scrolling back through his previous teams, it kind of made sense to me as well. But he has 3 top 5 finishes, and that's definitely something to brag about.
Yeah, Joshua has one outlier in his career record, and it's when I think he was Sasha Loves My Heineken, and he basically gave up, and I think he was busy with life and something happened, and his team just fell to shit, and I think he ended up like 2-11. So that's the outlier on his career record. Other than that, you could see he's had essentially a winning record every other year. So guy knows what he's doing for sure.
For sure. Just switching over to his team, he has 3 quarterbacks on the roster and only 1 starter. Kirk Cousins, and then he has Deshaun Watson and Davis Mills, and they're definitely not going to be. Tyrod Taylor is going to start for both of them. His running backs, he has Swift, Montgomery, Marlon Mack, Evans, White, Richards, Eli Mitchell, who I drafted and then dropped, and Vaughn. Looking at wide receivers, he has Allen Robinson, who currently is on his bench. I think he needs to make that change. He has Cooks, Williams, Slayton, Hardman, Paris Campbell. Tight ends, he obviously has Travis Kelce and Harris and Belvin Gordon. And his IDPs aren't too bad. I believe I have them ranked in the middle of the road. I have them ranked at 11.
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting Watson long-term, I think will help. He had to move on from Cousins. So we'll see if Watson actually comes back. Swift, we all know is kind of iffy. Does have Montgomery there. We'll have to see if he has the same role. I think the wide receiver room has a ton of depth, to be honest. So he can withstand some injuries there. In the flex for sure. And let's face it, Kelsey's going to score enough points at the tight end position, more than most teams, 2 tight ends. The DL position, I think, is weak. The LB position, I think, is weak. And it could cause some concerns for him.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point as well. Looking at his draft, you give him a B+. I give him an A-. I mean, the only thing that the reason I give him an A is because he took Watson at 7-6. I think it's too early for a guy who probably will sit all season, but he took, Brandon Cooks in the first round, which is pretty good. James White, he didn't have a second round pick. So in the third round, he took James White, adding to that depth, took Hardman and Campbell and Marlon Mack the next 3 rounds. So his it's not too bad. He's adding those depth pieces to his team. And that's why I gave him an A+. There was no picks I could fault him besides the Deshaun Watson, where I'm like, why did you do that? Maybe the kicker in the 10th round, but that's near here nor there.
Yeah, that's what I got here. Is the reason why he got the B+ is because he did take the kicker way too early, and it was actually round 8 he took it, so that's way too early. I like the Brandon Cooks pick. He's the number 1 in Houston. I think he'll produce. He had no round 2, like you said, and then White, Hardman, Campbell, Mack, Deshaun. I think they're all solid starters at every position. And that's why I like the picks, and I obviously Joshua knows his football. So B+ what I gave him just because he screwed up on the kicker.
Yeah, that's fair. And looking at his projections, you have him going 8-5. I have him going 10-3. For a guy who finished the top 5, I actually think his schedule is kind of weak. I don't think he plays a tough schedule, especially in those middle 5 to 8 games where there's a whole bunch of bye weeks. I think his schedule is pretty damn good, and I wish I had it.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the last 6 games, though, it gets kind of tough. He plays Susie, he'll play you, Milan, myself. So, those aren't going to be easy games. And starting out with Dusan and Lucas isn't easy either. But I mean, Templars is an easy win. So you guys already have the benefit of getting 1 W playing Templars in the American. So you guys already have an unfair advantage as American owners playing Templars. But I have them starting out the season really good, 6-1, and then that schedule gets a lot tougher. So I think that American division is going to be a toss up, and I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of American owners around that 8-5, 7-6 range. So it's going to be an exciting division to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking shit on my division, but you play BC Lions
Yeah, which looks pretty strong this year, man.
until he trades everybody and there's nobody on his team.
Well, I don't doubt that. I mean, didn't he give a second to my brother for Julio? I mean, so.
But anyway, before we stop the video for Josh, I just want to say, I hope your family is okay, because I know they're a little sick with the COVID, and let us know, man. And a big, also repeat what Kamish said earlier. Big thank you for Discord. It's great. I think it's definitely made the LOC better in general. I mean, there's more shit talking, but there's also more camaraderie. You know what I mean for the league.
100%.
Yeah. Thanks, guy.